2001年福岡アジア文化賞大賞受賞、さらに2006年ノーベル平和賞を受賞されました。バングラディシュグラミン銀行総裁のムハマド・ユヌス様、よろしくお願いします。どうぞ拍手でお迎えください。
Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon. Well, I'm very delighted and privileged to come back here after 2001. It seems like a long time back. And I'm very happy to be here. And Honorable Deputy Mayors, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it's a duty for me to kind of update you on what we have been doing since we received the Fukuoka Prize. That was a great event and a great inspiration for us when we received that. I didn't realize that I'll be invited again to celebrate the 20th anniversary of the prize. This prize has over time become very important in Asia, because this is one prize which brings the special people in art and culture of Asia, Asian nations. And this is something which people in many countries eagerly look forward to see who will be the recipient this year. So gradually it has occupied a very important position in the arena of art and culture. I congratulate the sponsors of this prize and also the people behind this prize, the hard work that you put in to select the winners of this prize. And that makes me especially privileged to have the honor of being here on the 20th anniversary. Whatever has been accomplished in the 20 years, I hope next 20 years will be much more impactful, much more exciting to bring Asia together in the area of art and culture. 2001, for us in Bangladesh and Grameen Bank, was a turning point. Since then, we have crossed many milestones, particularly in Grameen Bank. And today, we look back to see the steps that we have taken over the years. Despite the fact we had gone through many difficult periods, particularly 2001 was right after a devastating flood that we had in '98. And we're still trying to recover from that massive flood we had in Bangladesh. Almost, it was predicted that this flood was so massive that Grameen Bank and all its activities will be washed off. It will not come back to life again. And some Western newspaper even wrote editorials that this is the last time Grameen Bank can survive. Because when flood hits Bangladesh, you see it in the headlines, you see it in the newspapers, televisions. When we say Bangladesh, it's really the poor people of Bangladesh who gets the hurt most. they literally lose everything. Their house, their possessions, their livelihoods. And they are the people that we work with. And it was such a massive flood that almost half of our borrowers suffered in a devastating way, lost their homes, lost their possessions. It's not easy to bring them back from that position to stand on their feet again. But we are very happy to report that we have survived that, and we became stronger than what we used to be, because all our staff and all our workers within Grameen Bank worked very hard to make sure we can put everybody on their feet again. Today, Grameen Bank has now over 8 million borrowers. At that time, we were much smaller in 2001. And we are almost in every single village of Bangladesh. Hardly any village left where Grameen program doesn't exist. 97% of our borrowers are women. And we have been doing the work persistently to make sure their life gets better each year, each day. And the floods and cyclones and other things, which continues, but we hope that we can prepare them to cope with them in a better way than otherwise they would suffer. And the floods and cyclones are becoming more frequent than ever and more intensive than ever. And you know why. See, global warming, the climatic changes that is taking place in many different platforms, many different fora, we go on discussing the problem of global warming. But for us in Bangladesh, it's a question of life and death. Because Bangladesh is a very small parcel of land, and with 150 million people, very packed country, almost 1,000 people per square kilometer. And that, when the global warming causes sea level to rise, our position gets worse. Bangladesh is a flat country. Almost 1/5 of Bangladesh is under 1 meter above the sea level. So much of the land is less than 1 meter or 1/4 of a meter above the sea level. When the sea level rises, Bangladesh slides into the sea. And it's not just what we lose in terms of land mass. Our agriculture becomes untenable because the saline water gets into the fields. And we are a rice-eating country. So when the saline water gets into the paddy fields, it cannot grow the paddy anymore. So sea level rise is something which threatens our livelihood and our existence. So we have to cope with it, cope with something which we are not responsible in creating.